Welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. On this show, our very special guest, Melanie Jackson with Park, right there in Southwest Little Rock at 65th and Geyer Springs. So don't go away. What a great testimony. We'll be right back. Welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. I'm your host, Perry Black. On this show, we have a wonderful and special guest and someone that I'm looking forward to getting to know better, Melanie Jackson.
Yes,
now,
thank you.
I think, Melanie, there may be some people watching Victory Television Network right now that recognize you. You think that's possible?
It's a possibility. I don't know how, but it's a possibility.
But you and your husband, Keith Jackson, founded an organization how many years ago?
It was founded in 1995.
Oh, that's 28 years ago,
yes.
Called?
PARK stands for Positive Atmosphere Reaches Kids. Yeah.
And that's on Geyer Springs Road.
Yeah, 6915 Geyer Springs Road.
And for anybody that doesn't know where that is, that's on them. Because that's just about a block or less from 65th Street and Geyer Springs.
Correct.
And I lived on Woodson Court, just a few blocks from Park, and I've been to Park before, and I learned to drive once. That's a little joke. So tell me a little bit about you personally, then we're going to talk about you and Keith a little bit, and then we're going to talk a whole lot about Park.
Okay, well, no
Where
problem.
did you grow up?
Well, I grew up on the north side, North Little Rock.
Oh, you know what? I'm a Central High School guy.
Uh-oh.
Did you go to Omain?
No, I ended up going to Jacksonville because I actually grew up on the county line.
Yeah.
I was 2 miles from Northeast and 12 miles from Jacksonville, so they decided to just go ahead and...
So did you go to Jacksonville High or Northeast?
Jacksonville High.
Yeah, the Red Devils.
The Red Devils.
You know what? I think there's a guy, you probably know this, there's a guy that played basketball for the Razorbacks. I watched this weekend. He's from Jacksonville, Jacksonville High School.
Devo Davis.
Yes.
Yes.
And he made some very important points that beat Kentucky. Yeah, and now we're up to number 14. Now, by the time this airs, we may be national champions in basketball.
Hope so.
Well, that'd be awesome.
I hope so. Yes.
But as soon as he stepped to the foul line, they said he's from Jacksonville. I went, oh man, that is so awesome. So that's where but you didn't actually grow up in Jacksonville.
No, I didn't grow up in Jacksonville at all.
On the north side.
In North Little Rock, basically.
Yeah.
Right
Graduated Jacksonville High School.
I did.
You mind telling us what year?
Oh, 1985. The best year ever.
You're young. I graduated Central High School in 1970, so you're a youngster. So tell me a little bit about growing up. Where did you go to church growing up?
I grew up in a family where I had several uncles who were pastors of churches. Okay. So I had that opportunity to be around spiritual leaders all of my life. The family I grew up, my dad's side is where I grew up. They're originally from North Little Rock. And they're a small group of people. It's only about 12, maybe 15 of us left now. But we grew up tight-knit, and we grew up in the church. And I grew up in King Solomon Baptist Church in North Little Rock.
Now, back in the day when you went to church, what was the culture like? Wasn't church the center of the family back then?
Oh, definitely. It was certainly the center of the family. The church was where everybody was.
Yeah.
And there were no strangers in the church. Everyone knew everyone.
Now, I'm a little bit older than you, a whole lot older than you, but when you were growing up, was it all-day church like I've seen growing up?
Well,
you went to church, then you had the picnic, then you had the singing, then you stayed for church again.
Well, we had church, we had Sunday school, we didn't have the picnic. We had Sunday school, we went to a regular church, then we would go home and eat, and then we would be back at 3, and then we'll be back for BTU, and then we had the 7 o'clock service. So yeah, we did a lot of churching.
Well, now with Parks, y'all are really major involved in mentoring young people.
Yes.
So let me go all the way back to your childhood with all those uncles that were preachers. How impactful was that in you? Do you have siblings?
Yes, I have a sister.
How impactful was that, having uncles who, men of God, Did that impact your life as a young girl?
It did. It absolutely did. I had one particular uncle who was always there. All of my uncles were there for me, but I had one who was always there for me. And I would just remember one day uh, after he preached, I went up to him and I told him, you know what? I want to join church. He said, you do? He said, why do you want to join church? I said, I just want to join church because I love God. And I don't want to go to hell. That was that fear, you know, one of those, when it fire and brimstone preaching sometimes. And I was like, I don't want to go to hell. He said, well, let me tell you what. When I preach again next week and I open the doors of the church, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well,
so it really did impact my life.
In that Baptist culture, we talked, back in the day, we talked about heaven and hell. Now we just talk about heaven and how sweet God is all the time. But I attended North Main Baptist Church for a very brief period of time when I was a little boy in Jonesboro. And all the folks in Jonesboro know where that is. And Brother Thompson, I think was his name, he would come out of the pulpit every Sunday closing the service. He'd get right down in the front row and he'd talking about hell and things you do to go to hell. And I was qualifying as a kid for several of those things. It's like smoke was rising. But I remember those salvation messages. Yeah. So having uncles, men of God, positive influence. So adults do play a big role in the lives of young people. Now, we have also seen, though, really in a lot of ways, the disintegration of what we call the traditional family. There's a lot of fatherless homes. So parks exist, not really to take the place of dad, but to fill the gap in the heart and the life of a daily activity of a young person, right?
Yes.
We've got about a minute. Tell me just a little bit, just a brief thing about park, and then we're going to come back and talk more.
Okay. Well, we are that after-school program, the after-school ministry, where we try to reach the whole child.
Yeah.
We want to reach them physically, mentally, and spiritually.
Yeah.
And so we have that part where the kid comes in. We have mentors, men, women, who give them what they need that they're not necessarily getting at home, that instruction, that guidance, that support. Some
of that accountability.
Oh, yeah, definitely accountability.
Yeah, and that's, so we want to come back and talk about reaching the whole child.
Yes.
For some people, that may be a little bit, what do you mean, reach the whole child? But we find philosophically, feed them, they will come. But relationships are so important in ministry to young people. And that's right there in Southwest Little Rock, right off of University Avenue and 65th Street. And we want you to know more about Park, and we want to introduce you to the opportunities not only about Park, but how you can be involved in Second Chance Youth Ranch. So we'll take a brief break. Be right back.
A mission field around you is filled with young hearts needing a forever family. And at Second Chance Youth Ranch, our team is committed to providing healthy, stable, loving homes and families to hurting children in the Arkansas foster care system and those up for adoption. Please contact us if you feel the tug at your heart to help foster or adopt, and find out the steps you could take to help fulfill a child's lifelong dream. Maybe you can't foster or adopt, but you could help. The need for thousands of children in the system is staggering. But with the help of faithful partners and business alliances, we are meeting those needs right now. Would you help us make a difference? Every gift, regardless of size, impacts a child's life directly and helps provide for a home in the gap right now. Visit the Second Chance Youth Ranch website at 2CYR.org to read more, watch the stories, and to make a contribution for a hurting child's care. Monthly partners are needed, so please contact us right away. And as you partner with this ministry, you are partnering with the Heavenly Father that has promised to be Father to the fatherless. God bless you for helping Second Chance Youth Ranch.
Hey, welcome back to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. You know, we take these brief breaks just so that God can talk to you about some of the things that we're talking about, and that's reaching young people. And your ministry at Park, established by you and Keith Jackson, your husband, 28 years ago, is touching the hearts and the minds of young people every day right here in Central Arkansas. So let's backtrack just a little bit though, Melanie. Tell me, how did you meet Keith? Because he is a Parkview guy, right?
He is.
Yeah.
He is one
See,
of those
Parkview
patriots.
started, my senior year at Central High School in 1969 was Parkview's first year. And so I go way back even pre-Keith. So how did you meet him?
Well, we met through a mutual friend, someone he
God
went
for
to high
friends.
school with,
Yeah.
and someone I went to college with.
Yeah.
So we met. That's actually been 34 years ago.
Were you all in high school or in college
In
at that time?
college.
Yeah.
In college, he just finished playing his last college game, and he was home.
Did he play at Oklahoma State?
University of Oklahoma.
University of Oklahoma. And where did you go to college?
I was at UA Little Rock.
And so how did a guy in Oklahoma from Parkview High School meet a girl at ULR?
Oh, like I said, a mutual friend, someone he went to high school with,
Yeah.
and now I was going to college with. And so he just like, okay, I have somebody I want you to meet. That's
Yeah.
what he told Keith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And y'all got married when?
1994.
94.
Yeah.
28 years
28
ago.
years
Now wait a
ago.
minute, that's almost the age of Park.
Yeah.
So y'all got married and immediately right into the ministry?
Well, actually, Keith was given a vision from God in 1991 that he needed to do something back home in Little Rock, because he said he always had these dreams of things going on
Yeah.
in Little Rock, seeing the news. That's when gangs were really bad. And he would go to sleep, and the Lord would wake him up and say, well, there's something you need to be doing about it. And he was like, not me, Lord. I'm in the NFL. I'm not
Yeah.
doing that. And he'd
Yeah.
go to sleep, wake back up. He said, yeah, you got to do it.
Wow.
And so that's when he decided to step out on faith and do that. And that was in 1991. And in 92, he actually started getting the ball rolling by going around getting people to support him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've opened our doors to our first group of kids in the 95-96 school year.
Wow. So here he is in the NFL. Were y'all married?
No, we weren't
Not
married.
yet.
No.
So, and God gives him a vision to come home and to change lives, and that was the vision of Park.
Yes.
You know, without a vision, people perish. And some people say, if you don't have a vision, you perish. But the reality is, when we don't fulfill the vision God gives us, those that the vision is meant to reach perish.
Absolutely.
And how many years did Keith play in the NFL?
He played 9 years.
9 years. And left the NFL in 90 what?
96.
And
after
so-
the 96 football
So he was
season.
still Park. He started Park then before he left the
He did.
NFL. And it's still going all these years later. And as we said off camera, longevity in ministry is very rare. To be around and still doing what God gave him the vision to do is huge. All these years later, y'all be having your 30-year celebration just in a couple of years.
Right.
We want people to support Park. So who can support Park? We talked a little off camera. Second Chance Youth Ranch and Park, public benefit charity. We are faith-based. So tell us about Park and why somebody ought to support Park, for goodness sakes.
Well,
How many kids y'all reaching, and how do you reach kids?
our maximum is 215. And right now we currently have about 145. We're in the middle of our recruitment process, and so hopefully we'll bring in another 65 to 75 students.
So you
going into
recruit
the
them.
summer.
How do you do that? And
We go into the schools. We're looking for that kid that is struggling, someone from like a 1.8 to a 2.8 GPA. They're struggling, but they have all of the ability to do it.
Yeah.
They just don't have the support or the guidance or the know-how
Yeah.
to do it. So that's the kid we're looking for. And we get that kid in the program. They have everything they need once they get to Park. We have the tutors, the mentors. They don't only get homework management, but they get support academically, they get it spiritually, they get support just whatever they need. If they're having issues at home, we're there
well,
to
are
talk
they
to them.
are the mentors and the tutors, are they paid or they volunteer, or a little bit of both?
They're paid and volunteer,
Yeah.
yes.
So any retired teachers out there,
Oh, any retired
wanna
teachers,
help?
please,
please, you
with
could
a
use
smile
some
on
more.
my face, please, we always need,
Yeah.
positive influences,
Yeah.
because it creates a change. Those kids need positive people in their lives
Yeah.
to impact them, because they go to school every day. They're around people who everything is negative. You
Yeah.
won't be, you can't be, you can't do. But when they come through those doors, it's a whole different thing.
Well, tell me, we've got a couple of minutes in this segment. What role does faith play? Obviously, faith is the basis of Park. It was God who spoke
Right.
to your husband about doing this while he's still in the NFL. And he's still doing it 28 years after the fact. What role does faith play in the program of ministry to kids, spirit, soul, and body?
Oh, it plays a great role because we have a weekly Bible study for the kids. We have a weekly Bible study for our staff as well on Mondays. But on Fridays, Thursdays or Fridays, the kids have to attend Bible study. And that's where they learn about the goodness of God.
Yeah.
That's where they learn about the fact that there is a God.
Yeah.
And He's a loving God. And He's a God that knows what they're going through.
Yeah.
But He's the God that's going to help them get out of what they're going through if they only trust
A
Him.
God of plan and a
Yes.
God of purpose.
Yes.
And in His eyes, He loves us all, and He's got this really awesome plan for us.
Yes.
And the enemy, and a lot of times even society, works so hard to tap that down and sometimes even hide it from us. So faith's a huge part. And when you talk, we got 1 minute. When you say kids, what age group do y'all reach?
We reach kids 8th through 12th grade, so that's like 13 through 18.
Yeah, boy, those
That's
are
a
some
big
years.
gap.
Huh?
Those are the years.
And my involvement with young people for over, since 1972, my involvement is as they get up to that very age, that's when parents let go. And frankly, that's when those young people need them connected, just loosely connected, not smothering. We're going to take a brief break and we'll be back here in a little bit, but I want you to understand these segments that we have in between the interviews are meant to introduce you to opportunities for you to be involved in mentoring, fostering, and adopting. So we're going to take a brief break. We'll be back with Melanie Jackson here in just a minute.
I am 17 and my name is Destiny. I'm really into horses. I love being out in the country outside. I like a family that understands me and that will support me with whatever I decide. I love taking care of little kids because they inspire me of when I used to be a little kid. I want to be a nurse and I want to have a nice house. I want to support people out there that doesn't have what they need in life. I want to donate to charity and maybe help take in people like foster care does and be a foster parent if that's possible. Like, I'm not the only one that needs a home out there. There's a lot of people that do. I was abused. I was taken advantage of. And I was not in school very often because I was either at home or my parents had went to jail. My mom went to jail a lot, so did my dad. My dad did drugs, my mom did too. They didn't have jobs, so it kind of was hard to support us in school. I was giving a wrong map of life to live life, so I'm looking for the right one. I'm very loud. I like singing. And I'm very generous and gentle. I care a lot about families. I've been through a lot, but when it comes down to me taking responsibility, I can either do it or I don't. But most of the time I try to take responsibility, understand what I did was wrong, take the punishment. Like they say, you're gonna do the crime, you gotta do the time. I cannot see clearly, but now that I'm free.
If you could wish for one thing, what would you wish for?
A family that is forever, that will take me in and not give me up because I have been abandoned a lot and neglected. That I'm just looking for a home, that someone will love me for me. If you are out there, please watch this. Show me that you care. Show me that you're there for me. I don't wanna let go. I don't wanna move. I don't wanna do what you say, but I guess I gotta do. 'Cause you are the family of my dreams. If you're out there, please help me. I need a family and a home.
Hey, welcome back to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. If you're just joining us, our special guest is Melanie Jackson. Some of you may know Melanie from Agape Church or from the community Parks Ministry there in Southwest Little Rock on Geyer Springs Road. And she's married to Keith Jackson, or should I say he's married to you?
That's better.
Yeah, because you're really the hub of the wheel that makes the thing go round. You know, somebody said something about my husband as the head of the family, and the wife said, "Yeah, but I'm the neck." And so you're definitely that. So Melanie, tell us and tell our viewers, the ministry of Park is 8th grade through 12th grade. Y'all literally go into the schools, recruit young people to come to be mentored. You focus on that student who has great potential, but like maybe me, they're running that 1.8, that 2 point something, and they just need someone to really engage them and help keep them focused. But it's not all about just sitting down and hitting the books.
Oh, no.
Y'all got all kinds of athletic stuff going out there at Parks.
Oh, no, absolutely. Education is key, first of all.
Yeah.
You have to get your work done.
got
They
to
know
do
when
it.
they come in the program, we circle up. We have this thing called Circle Up where we grab hands, we do the Lord's Prayer, we do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah.
Then we break into our groups so they can get their hour of study time.
Yeah.
Once they complete that, then they have a free-for-all. We have a gym that has 3 basketball courts, Maybelline, well, it's not Maybelline anymore, but L'Oreal Women's Center where the girls can go in there, do their hair,
Oh,
and do
gosh,
all
that's
kind
awesome.
of things.
Yeah.
We have a movie theater. We have an game room with all the latest games and
All
technology.
free to the kids.
All free. The entire program is
They just
free
have
to
to
the
sign
kids.
up and commit.
5-year commitment.
Would it be fair to say commit to being a scholar or commit to being the best you can be?
Commit to being the best you can be with the hope that you become that scholar.
Y'all have done this now almost 28 years. Tell me some of the success stories. I want our viewers to know what's the success, because there's a lot of people, even in the Christian community, that believe all hope is lost. Our kids are all going to hell.
Oh,
and
it's
that
not.
is not true, is it?
It is not. It is not. We've had over 562 kids graduate from the program, and of that, we have over 40 with college degrees.
Wow.
We have plenty of stories to tell, but one of our stories, I have a young man named Marquise McFerguson. Marquise came in the program with a 1.7. Marquise didn't want to do anything. He called himself a little gangbanger, drug dealer. He just decided he wasn't doing anything. Well, once he got in the program and realized that there were people there who really cared for him, there were young men, young black men there doing things. They were in college. They were going to get their pharmacy degrees, doing all kind of things. And they told him, you know, this is not what you want to do.
Yeah.
That's the life you don't want to live. So he changed his mind. He got a little better, and he finally, I think he said in the 9th grade, he decided, I can do better than this. I can do better than this. I'm going to get my grades up, which he did. He graduated with like a 3.5 from high school.
Wow.
But then he went on to college at Ouachita Baptist, got his degree there, went on to UALR or UA Little Rock and got his master's, and he said, I'm not finished. I'm not finished because of Park. You all pushed me and encouraged me.
Wow.
I'm going to get my doctorate. And so now he's we call him Chicken, Marquise McFerguson, and he's a professor down in Florida at one of the universities,
What a way to go.
From 1.7 to Dr. McFerguson.
Yeah, and Florida.
And Florida, very nice, warm
way
place.
to go. And so, what kind of doctor is he?
He's a doctor of educational studies.
It's like a professor.
He's
then?
a professor, yes.
That is amazing. You're talking about
He's a
completing the circle. That is phenomenal.
Yes.
So
It is.
you've got out of the hundreds, well, I guess over 28 years, the thousands of young people
yes.
that you've impacted. You know, and I think a lot of times it's easy to get frustrated when you don't see the immediate success. But when you stay in ministry long enough, you get to actually stand back and say, you know what, I didn't make as big an impact as I wanted to in every life, but I think when we get to heaven, I really believe we're going to find out there's a whole lot more doctors and doctor stories that we didn't even realize.
Absolutely.
You know, I had a teacher at Little Rock Central High School, Martin Swint. He was my algebra teacher. He's the only teacher I ever went back to school to see, because I didn't even like school. But I really like Martin Swint, and I don't to this day know what it was about him that tapped into my heart and my brain and took me from a D algebra student to a straight A, 98 to 99 or 100 on every test in his class. There was a connection. And people don't care how much you know till they know how much you care. The format of Park is we care enough to recruit you and I guess select you to participate, and then we care enough to invest. What's it cost each child to come to Park? Nothing?
Oh, nothing. Absolutely
Except
free.
a little brain power.
Dedication.
Effort. Yeah.
We need you to be dedicated when you come in there.
So where do you get your support? We got a minute left.
We get our support from our foundations, corporations, individuals. We have never received government funding.
Yeah. So any business
Yes.
owner, individual, Christian, we'll even throw out non-Christian.
Non-Christian. We are accepting any funds
Yeah.
because it's going to impact the kids that we work with. They are in constant need of all the latest things. That's what we pull them in with,
Yeah.
the things that are new, to keep them up to date with what's going on with the schools.
Yeah.
Whatever supplies the schools have, we have.
Yeah. So this is your opportunity. You know, this show is on the air, and Second Chance Youth Ranch and our partnership with Victory Television Network is to impact children in care. Now, many of the children at Park are not foster children, but they're in the care of Park, coming alongside moms and dads, and this is your opportunity to get involved and engaged. We can't solve the problems that our young people face without people like you who are willing to pray, willing to give financially, and willing to give of yourself. Park, Second Chance Youth Ranch, we're always looking for mentors and role models, foster parents, tutors,
Yes.
and people like you who will take a time out of your life and just drop by and contact Park, drop by for a visit, contact us at the ranch, schedule a visit. We'd love to meet you. There's so many opportunities to get involved. And who knows, the life you change through the love of Jesus Christ might become just like the doctor in Florida. God bless you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.